Were you embraced as a child, an artistic child?
I was.
Okay.
I was.
You were encouraged.
For sure. I was the one.
So two-parent household?
Yeah, two-parent household. They're still together right
It's
now.
hard. Still
yeah,
together
mom
now?
and dad still together. Yeah,
What a
yeah.
blessing in the black community.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
They would call
We're
me
gonna
out
have more
during
of
these
that.
parties in the 70s, and they'd be like, Jamal, come on out here. And I'll be in the room just waiting, and come on, do that little spin and that split, for everybody, So it was encouraged from those are my earliest memories of dancing, is like at house parties and stuff like that.
For the house
How do you
party.
think that being supported by your parents, how do you think that influenced your trajectory in your career?
It's huge, huge, because your parents are your first, that was my first idol, my dad. My mom, I idolized them. And so for them to be able to say, you can do this, you can do whatever you put your mind to, just gave me the courage to keep going, you know what I mean, to do it, and I didn't think that I couldn't. So yeah, that was all them.
They say fashion is fun.
Yes.
And you have a lot of fun with it.
Oh, I do.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
I do. It's so much fun. I like to push it a little bit, and I think
scared?
that no, never scared. You can't be scared, And people feel it, right? When you walk in the room, you have to own. If you're wearing a pink suit, you got to own the pink suit, and there's nothing anybody could say from there.
When
At that
did
point
that
on, all they
happen
can
for
say,
you?
oh, it's nice.
At what stage? From little on up, or was it a?
From little, I remember. Do y'all remember Jordache? They had a brand Jordache like that.
Yeah, I remember Jordache.
And I remember I was in 3rd grade and had to have some Jordache jeans. And my mom was talking about, you supposed to be in tough skins. And I was like, no, I'm having some Jordache. And so she bought them, and they were actually too big, and the cuff went up to my knee. But I still rocked them at school, you know what I mean? They was too big, the waist is too big. Yes.
Can't tell you nothing. What'd you say?
So that was beautiful. I mean, it's always been a thing for me.
Sort of like having a voice, through even styles.
Yeah,
So, and I know that that's kind of what we were talking about right before you got here, these black voices in Hollywood and how they're impacting a lot of change and creating lanes for the black gay community. And so how do you feel your voice has been making an impact where you're at?
Yeah, well, just from the beginning, I always felt like we as black people have always been the ones to set the trends, from music to fashion to dance. And because I was a dancer, I remember in high school, I was popular because I could dance,
Right.
And I went to a predominantly white school. So all the white kids wanted to dance in my talent shows and wanted to dance with me. And so even from that point, I knew that I had something that was powerful, that people wanted to be a part of. And so going into Hollywood, I knew I was bringing that to Hollywood.
Where you from?
From here, I was born and raised in Pomona, California.
Okay.
And then raised in Rancho Cucamonga.
Rancho Cucamonga.
Yeah, Rancho Cucamonga. That was before all the outlets and everything. It was just vineyards, and there was nothing there when I was there. I think I brought that to the industry, not me alone, but I always felt like because I was black, it wasn't a negative, it was a positive. It was like, they're gonna want what I have.
How about being gay and coming into the industry?
Now that's another story.
Even as a dancer.
Yeah, even as a dancer, because, as a choreographer, as a dancer, not so much. My first job ever was with Michael Jackson. Remember the Time music video, right? So it was actually a video that was all black. So that was my entry into this industry was with Michael Jackson on an all-black cast. Iman, Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, and Michael, my idol. So that was like, okay, well, this is really not what it is, right? It's not always gonna be all black people. You know what I mean? John Singleton directing. So I knew that wasn't gonna be it. So once I started to go into the industry, I realized that I was fine as a black gay dancer. But when I started to choreograph, I knew that I had to be closer with the artist, and hip hop became a world that I was in because I danced hip hop. So I had to be careful about how much I let them know about my sexuality. So although I was never really closeted, I just didn't speak about it because I didn't want to lose a job. Yeah.
Is that different today?
The world.
It's different from me now, but I still see, artists, actors, dancers, choreographers that don't want to reveal themselves because they're afraid that, they could lose their jobs.
Wow, even now?
Yeah, even now, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know that I've lost jobs because I was gay. I know that probably, 1,000 jobs have gone by because they didn't want to be you're guilty by association. You know, if you're a rapper and you have a gay choreographer, it might say something about you, right? So maybe I didn't get that job.
That's a hard way to think about it too, but it's real, isn't it?
Yeah. So who knows?
Do you fault people for staying in the closet for that reason?
I don't fault them. I used to, though, just to be honest. I used to be like, we need representation. We need as many people, but everybody in their own time, right? If you're not ready, I know I was 27 when I came out to my mom and dad.
Wow.
So that's a long time to be closeted.
That's a long time.
I didn't want to disappoint.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How was their reaction?
My dad said, "Oh man, I knew that." When you was 13 years old.
When you got to the Jordan,
Should have known then. Should have known then. Yeah.
Nobody really understands how it is if you haven't been there to be.
Yeah.
I always think about, and I'm a little older, than all of you at the table, but it was a song, and it said, "I'm a girl watcher." And I was young, and I used to be looking at a girl's behind, and I would be like, "You're not supposed to do that." And even from a little kid, when you come out, when you're in that closet, it's torture.
For sure, yeah.
Yes.
There was times that I would have these conversations with God and be like, "Why me? Like, why? It felt like a curse, right? Something that felt so heavy. Something that felt like I would do anything if you just tell me what to do. I will." Just not to
I'll
be gay.
start crying right now. Stop.
Me too. I already was about to go there
Go.
because you just reminded me of my history.
Yeah.
When I first felt like I was gay in college, and I used to, I was very religious at the time, and I still am.
Yeah.
But so I would pray, God, please take this away from me. I would pray every
day.
single day.
Me too.
And eventually, I said, okay, God, I'm tired of this prayer. So let me change my prayer. If you're not going to take this away, change the way that I feel about it so that I can go to sleep at night with peace. And guess what? That happened.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
This is a moment of education. Do I really want to have this desire, or is it there and meant to be there?
Yeah.
How do you create it? The energy like the wind. You don't see it, but you feel it. So you'll see somebody and be like, "Damn, fine," and then somebody else treats you better, but you don't like them.
Right.
Leaves blow, but you don't see it. So if you could, you would do with your heart.
Yeah.
Would you guys say that a lot of that is us wanting to create a sense of normalcy for our families? And I know that for you, finding marriage. And that then becomes a way of still having the same path that are seemingly traditional.
Sure.
And so how was that journey for you?
Well, let me just go back just a little bit to what you said in the beginning was, do I think that it was just was I trying to just fit into the norm, right? And I think it was deeper for me because, we didn't go to church every Sunday. When I would go to church, the things that I was taught was that I was going to hell.
Ooh.
So I didn't feel like I deserved to go to hell by having these thoughts about men, you know what I mean? So I just didn't think that it was fair, and I felt like, why do I have this? Why am I carrying this weight from 12, 13? I remember these conversations. So I want to say that was more, not so much about fitting in, because I never really I always tried to be a leader, right? I always tried to, the Jordan jeans, again, going back to that.
Right
I was the
on,
one
and
setting the
rocking those
trends.
cuffs
I was doing that from a young age, so it didn't matter to me about what other people thought. I thought about just my relationship with God and how that fit in for me, So that was important. And then once I started to meet other gay people and people that were living proud, and I started having these conversations, I was like, and I actually met RuPaul Charles, and I did a job. I auditioned for a show that he was doing in Vegas, and to be a background singer and dancer. I'm not a great singer, but I made it work.
Okay. I can relate.
Just like you did those Jordan.
Exactly.
It's in your blood.
Make it work.
Let's get the job done.
So I remember auditioning for the job, and I got the call. They gave me the job, and I had to call my dad. And this was before I had this conversation with him. And I said, "Hey, I got a job. with dancing for RuPaul, and he said he didn't know about RuPaul, and he said okay, and I said, well, he's a drag queen, and he said okay, and then he said, is it paying you? I said, yeah. He said, oh, well, I'll see you in Vegas, And I think at that point it kind of just a little bit said, my dad might be okay with this, But when I met him, he had George, his husband, Rue's husband now, they were together back then, and it was the first time I saw two men operate in just a normal way, just going to the store and picking out stuff at the mall, you know what I mean? And it just felt like, okay.
Love taps.
Yeah. Sometimes I could see, sometimes representation, sometimes just seeing that is all you need, right? It's just having something to be like, oh, I could be like them. I could, it's normal. It's two people that just love each other. So that was my first, and so speaking on the marriage thing, so at that point I knew that I could have this. I could be married to someone. Welcome to